Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a look at a theme loadout inspired by the Dutch KCT. This loadout was suggested in the comments of my last theme loadout by the Flying Dutchman 167, so thanks heaps for that, dude, and I hope I do this one justice for you. Now, for those of you guys who haven't heard of this unit before, the KCT or Korps Commando Troepen are the special forces of the Royal Netherlands Army. They were first officially activated in 1942, but were only reorganised from a part conscript unit to a professional force in 1995. Like many Special Forces units, the KCT specialises in unconventional warfare, hostage rescue, and special reconnaissance missions. Since 1995, the unit has filled these roles for the Dutch Army in a number of different conflicts, including Bosnia and Herzegovina and the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The KCT is a Tier 1 unit, meaning that it's funded at the highest level, and is made up of only the most elite members of the Dutch Army. Over a grueling selection process that can take more than a year, candidates train in counter-terrorism, air assault and covert operations, and at the end of the process only about 5 to 10% of applicants will be accepted into the unit. Successful candidates will gain the right to wear the green commando beret of the unit and will go on to specialise as a demolitions expert, sniper, communications expert or a combat medic. Only then will they be assigned to an operational unit and considered a permanent member of the KCT, earning them a place among some of the most well-respected operators in the Special Forces community. The KCT use a number of weapons in BF4, including the M416, P90, M249 and the M240B, but I've chosen something a little different for this loadout, the L96 bolt-action rifle. The KCT doesn't refer to this gun by its British designation though, instead referring to it by its original designation, the Accuracy International Arctic Warfare. The AW is a very popular 7.62 bolt-action rifle and is used by a number of other different countries, including the UK, Australia, and quite a few European countries as well. This rifle is particularly popular in colder countries because, as you can probably tell from the name of the weapon, it's actually designed to operate in very cold temperatures of as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. But anyway, in my loadout I'm running the L96 with the 8x scope variable zoom and the bipod, and for my secondary I'm running with the Glock 18, which is as close as I could get to the Glock 17 used by the KCT. To round out this loadout, I'm also running with the Beacon Motion Ball, Sniper Perk and Flashbangs, and for something different I'm running the Spray Woodland camo because I think it looks a lot like the weapon camo used by the KCT. This loadout is a little different from my regular recon setup, but I think I learned to adapt to it pretty quickly and ended up having a lot of fun with it. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a really competitive loadout because in my opinion both the L96 and the G18 aren't the greatest of guns, but it is a decent loadout and it does hold its own if you play it safe. So what is the problem with the L96 and the G18? Well, I'd say first and foremost, they're just outclassed by other weapons. The last few patches have basically turned the L96 into a copy of the Gold Magnum, with 5 more rounds in the magazine but a whole lot shorter damage drop-off. That being said, you might prefer to have a few extra rounds in the magazine, but I can guarantee the damage drop-off will result in less kills at long range. If you're a headshot machine though, well I guess the L96 would suit you a whole lot better, and now that it's a viable option next to the goal, it's not like it's a massive disadvantage anymore to run with the L96 instead. Now, moving on to the Glock, well, I don't really have anything good to say about this gun, which I'm sure many people might find surprising. Compared to the 93R, the G18 just feels so inaccurate, and there was quite a few times I ended up getting killed because the Glock let me down. Another big part of the reason I don't like the G18 is because the squared off design and decent vertical kick of the gun makes using its iron sights very tricky. I think in general the 93R or even the P226 would both be better options for an aggressive recon, unless of course you just don't like burst fire or semi-automatic weapons. So all in all, is this an effective loadout and would I play with it again? Well, I probably would, but as much as I love the look and the feel of the L96, it's just not my kind of bolt action. I'd prefer something with a little more power and a little faster muzzle velocity, because sometimes when you're playing recon, missing a shot can be the difference between life and death. I think it goes without saying that I'd switch out the G18, but I do think the gadgets and the attachments were fine, except for maybe the bipod, which I didn't use at all. A straight pull bolt and maybe even an ACOG scope would have made close to mid-range sniping a whole lot easier, which kind of makes sense for this gun because it's certainly not going to equal the Intervention or the Barrett for long-range gunfights. But anyway, what do you guys think of the L96 and the G18? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget, if you'd like to suggest a theme for my next loadout, feel free and I'll see what I can do. As always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. But until next time, see you later and have a good one.